燃吧！
启程，超大！呀呼！
嘿，走开！呀！哈！哼！哼！哼！
加速喽！飞蓝莎莎，
来吧，来吧，听取我的战导，埋葬于赤焰之下。要加速了！走开！身鹤荡响，鸣击火渊。来吧！烈日随我，
甩尾，超大！
赐予我们祝福，沸腾吧，山之血！恭听太阳的轰鸣，湮灭！破！粉灭不尽，
加速喽！呀呼！巨浪！哗啦哗啦！
点燃吧！来吧！来吧！哼！哼！听取我的战导！哼！无赦天火！湮灭！回荡吧，恶之声！走开！粉灭不尽！
启程，
恭听太阳的轰鸣！
为我歌，
捉到，也很疼。
防御模式启动。好，确认安全距离。收，让世界热闹起来吧！好，6308设防单元。确认安全距离。
也很疼。眼术如何呢？
绝缘屏障展开。嘿呀，嘿呀，好，吸附力测试。
捉到，
闪耀时刻，当当！超扩散态，提早目标锁定最终协议。
工程收工，也很疼。
嘿，好，确认安全距离。
收，捉到，
防御模式启，让世界热闹起来吧！亮相了，6308设
眼术如何呢？
呀，确认。 热火马，
让开！哼，开火！时机正好，开火！
哼，履行盟约吧，星魔们！斯特拉林伊兹帕帕给我上！
动作要标准，计时开始。时机正好，开火！锁定，笑尘尽灭。
开锅了，开锅了！讲不通就打扁了。
更快，更强，听我的口号，
出来干活，灭可交给你们俩了。
要起风了。锁定，时机正好。
履行盟约吧，星魔们！让你见识见识恶药伤人！锅吧，喷火！
调整呼吸，动起来！飞吧！锁定，时机正好。烽烟驱破！
嘿哈！开锅了，开锅了！
更快，更强，听我的口号！哼！锁定，开火！锁定，时机正好。
斯特拉林伊兹帕帕给我上！出来干活，热乎热乎嘛！
风驰电掣，计时开始，要起风了。时机正。
阵线，
更快，更强！
你很疼，捉到！你，嘿，
履行盟约吧，星魔们！
收！
让你见识见识恶药伤人！
动作要标准，听我的口号！
丝线交织，否决！
出来干活！
捉到！
点燃吧，调整呼吸，
不必留情。
哼，时机正好，时机正好，锁定，风驰电掣，
出来干活！灭口交给你们俩了。
无射天火。让开，动起来，飞吧！时机正好。全弹发射！烈日随我，调整呼吸，这还算回事？
履行盟约吧，星魔们！斯特拉林一字啪啪给我上！
开火！这更快更强，计时开始，
不必留情。
埋葬于赤焰之下，动力全开。
履行盟约吧，星。
时机正好，开火！焚灭不尽，调整呼吸，听我的口号，
不必留情，让你见识见识恶药伤人！
无射天火！湮灭！耶！飞吧！时机正好，时机正好，锁定，再来，笑尘庆灭，更快更强，动起来！
灭口交给你们俩了！
恭听太阳的轰鸣！谁要阻拦？要起风了！锁定，点燃吧！让开，动作要标准，计时开始。
疼！履行盟约吧，星魔们，让你见识见识恶！
开火！锁定！锁定！时机正好，烽烟驱破！无射天火！来吧，来吧！哼！
锅巴喷火！甩尾！热乎热乎嘛！需要借你我的冲浪板吗？我还要保护我的旅客。
痛，此为守护。哼，沸腾吧，山之血！嘿，
讲不通就打扁了。启程！超浪！飞蓝莎莎！
来吧！
锅巴喷火，甩尾！
来吧！破！
锅巴喷火，甩尾，超棒！开锅了，开锅了，加速喽！
走开！
锅巴喷火，启程！浪来喽！哟呼！开锅了，开锅了！甩尾！
沸腾吧，山之血！
锅巴喷火，加速喽！讲不通就打扁了！
来吧！哼！
看我，看我，祝你好运！甩尾！开锅了，开锅了！
破！
锅巴喷火，加速喽！浪来喽！
走开！
开锅了，开锅了！甩尾！
来吧！来吧！
锅巴喷火，加速喽！
破！
开锅了，开锅了！见识下师傅的枪法。
走开！
锅巴喷火，启程！热乎热乎嘛！加速喽！
破！听取我的战！哼！
嘿哈！甩尾！超棒！我还要保护我的旅客。飞蓝莎莎！
身鹤荡响，鸣击火渊！来吧！
锅巴喷火，加速喽！浪来喽！
破！
开锅了，开锅了！启程！向导怎么能？
走开！
热乎热乎嘛！甩尾！哟呼！超棒！浪来喽！
破！ 回大吧，恶之声！
讲不通就打扁了。启程。去啦！哗啦哗啦！
来吧！哼哼，
开锅了，开锅了！
沸腾吧，山之血！
热乎热乎嘛！加速喽！超爆！
来吧！
见识下师傅的枪法。呀呼！飞蓝莎莎！甩尾！
微光无射，
绝缘屏障展开，也很疼。
等下有点痛。
奥影看破，
呛，收。眼术如何呢？防御模式启动。
蔓延吧！啊呀！哈！
抓到。
此刻寂灭之时，无处遁逃。
化为灰尘。
记住你了。
也很疼。丝线交织。
蔓延吧！刺激智慧之电。
提早目标锁定。收。抓到。
毁灭，断绝，奥影看破。
记住你了。
绝缘屏障展开，歼灭模式。中场收工收。抓到。
等下有点痛啊。
道光，意识永恒，无处遁逃。
最终血印。点数如何呢？收。
记住你了。
来吧！
伤口已经处理完了，
就在附近的海滩上，还是那些家伙干的。
嘿，加斯卡，你们围在这儿做什么呢？
杜麦尼，派蒙，好在
他是被蜜源机兵给袭击了，还好我就在附近巡逻，顺手收拾了那些古董。
蜜源骑兵，又是那些
蜜源机兵，奇怪，我们旅行的时候也有见过。
但他们最近活跃的反常，花语会附近的龙，过往的行商都有被袭击的记录。不，托你的福，现在深渊的威胁已经解除，以花语会的常备武力应付这些古董还是足够的。先祖们也说过，自己的巢要靠自己来守，总不能事事都依赖你啊。
不要那么见外啦，大家都是自己人。况且我们再过不久就要出发去诺德卡莱了吧？临行
这么一说，确实很久没跟你们一起作战了，那就当做去兜个风。海边怎么样？蜜源机兵在那儿活动的挺频繁。
好嘞。
唉，也就只有你们这样的好手能把这当成消遣。我也一块去吧。
不会吧，哥们儿？再要找到他们，旅行者派蒙，然后回家。Oh no! Looks like she's passed out! And there's an automaton! Quick, save her!
Annihilation mode.
Hold the line!
All right.
Aoife, how's it looking? Is she badly hurt?
Hard to say. You might want to see this for yourself.
You call that? Whoa. Okay.
A machine built to look like a human, I guess. Is this a new model of automaton?
Return. Paimon.
What? You heard that too, right?
Oh, take a look at this. I found it on the ground next to her.
Really? Wait. A blonde person with a white balloon? You bet, bro!
There's also a cipher disk.
We have two gunslingers here. Can't we just blast it open?
Yeah, I wouldn't risk it. I've seen the scions of... If you put in the wrong code or try to open it by force...
Sure looks that way. Question is, who's the messenger? So, we gotta revive a high-tech humanoid and crack open a cryptex. I only know one person with that kind of expertise. Shall we?
Sounds like a plan! Time to head to the Children of Echoes and find Shilonen! You bet, bro!
These automatons. Sorry, dude. I gotta get back to the clinic. Plus, I don't want poor Kaku...
All right.
Do you know if Shilonen is... Oh, you're up. I figured you'd be taking a nap at this hour.
Oh, yeah, perfect. First Mawika, now Chaska. Did you come all this way just to make fun of me?
Whoa. What a...
Well, I have those secret source automatons to thank for all this. Mawika wants me to come up with a solution. It's like she thinks I'm a miracle worker or something. But I'm not. So, to make up for the difference, I've been spending all day sifting through documentation. Anyway, what about you guys, huh? What curveball have you come to throw at me today? Hold up. Is she a robot?
We picked her up on the beach near the Flower Feather clan, along with this cryptix. Seems like a message intended for the traveler.
A cryptix? Huh. Still in one piece. I'm surprised you didn't try to blast it open. Let's see here. A Fontanian cipher disc, metal case from Leeway. Looks like this was cobbled together from spare parts. Although the inner workings are pretty intricately designed. It's a good thing you didn't try and brute force it. Could be a tricky one. Since it uses a combination of several different technologies, I could find out more by disassembling it, but that could potentially damage the contents, and I'm assuming it's not worth the risk, right? Must be a pretty important message if this is how they chose to transport it.
The only other option is to get our messenger to tell us the code. Is that doable? Can you wake her up?
Well, the device in her chest looks pretty similar to the core you'd find on a secret source automaton, but the other components, I've never seen anything like them in Natlan before. I'll see what I can do. Hang tight for a minute.
Hey, she woke up.
All I did was stimulate the core. I did not expect that to work.
White.
Wow.
Task in progress. Deliver message to Traveler and White Flying Companion. Message location confirmed. Status delivered.
You're pretty smart for...
Code?
Oh. Maybe not so smart after all. A code? You know, like a number that you put in to unlock the message?
Memory. Missing.
What? Memory missing?
Yeah, there's always a snag. Is there anything else you do remember? Besides these two?
Name.
Oh, not again.
You said something about returning home earlier. Where's home for you? Any memories about that?
Return home. Task in progress. Memory missing.
Oh. So that's it then. Her
Not necessarily. Judging by her reaction, it's possible that her memory integrity isn't compromised, just locked behind an isolation mechanism.
Yeah, but what does that mean for us, though? In words we can understand.
It means she hasn't lost her memories. They're in there somewhere, she just can't access them right now. Like, when you know something, but the harder you try to remember it, the more it gives you a headache. Is that what's going on?
Finding near synonyms for headache. Cognition.
robots can feel pain?
Well, pain can be a useful parameter. Experiencing pain is how baby humans and saurians learn what to do and what not to do. In a similar vein, I've heard that a lot of highly autonomous machines are designed with negative feedback mechanisms for behavioral regulation.
Whoa, slow.
Oh, okay, well, if I call it a curse, is that easier to understand? Imagine if you're a big shot shaman from the Masters of the Nightwind and you send your disciple on an errand to the Flower Feather clan. To stop him from treating it like a vacation, you might put a curse on him that causes a physical and mental breakdown if he strays from the right path. That way, you can be sure he'll stick to the straight and narrow and won't go frolicking off.
Jeez. Sounds like the horror story version of Granny Eatsley that parents tell their...
The point is, manufacturers often hardwire restrictions like this into autonomous machines to make sure they operate as intended.
Yeah, but why would you curse a machine to lose their memories? What purpose could that possibly serve? In her case, all it's done is make it harder for her to complete her tasks.
Task failed. Sincere apology.
Well, without knowing the exact details of the curse, it's anyone's guess. It seems you responded to the phrase return home. How about we keep talking and see if any other keywords trigger something for you?
Sure. I'm alright. I have assessed the pain level as tolerable. I must complete my task.
Hey, Traveler, have you ever seen a humanoid machine like this? Anywhere else you've been? Ah, of course. Yeah, some of her joints and a few components look pretty Fontanian to me.
Fontaine. They make good pastries there.
Hey! triggered something. Hey! Never mind that. So, is Fontaine your home?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, that's one promising lead nipped in the bud.
You mean her hairpiece? Oh, yeah, I think I know what you mean. What do they call them in Mondstadt again?
Mondstadt. The maids there are very hardworking.
That's it! A maid! Although, as far as Paimon's aware, the maids in Mondstadt are all fully human.
A maid. Okay, that would explain a lot of the internal design choices. So, you're from Mondstadt then?
No.
How come she responds so much faster when the answer is no?
Natlanese core, Fontanian joints, Mondstadt hairpiece. Maybe no single nation is her home. She's just like the Cryptex in that sense. A mishmash of parts from all over the world.
In that case, where exactly is home to you? Is it where you were built? Where you live most of the time? Or a place you can always come back to?
Home is just home, isn't it?
Okay.
If her cognition is impaired, maybe her body is a place to look. I found a lot of interesting things when I was examining her just now. Do you remember this little robot? Apparently, you were together when they found you on the beach.
Oh,
Nice! So you remember how to switch it on. Now, could you try doing something similar to your right arm?
is this a broom?
Wait, she really is a robo-maid?
Wow, very good indeed. Now then, could I trouble you to tidy up my workshop?
Are you serious right now?
Well, if she's a robo-maid, maybe doing some household chores will jog her memory. Yeah, just this area will do. Thanks, no need to tidy the whole workshop.
Hey, come on! The poor thing...
Understood. Commencing task. Sorting large objects.
She's really doing it. Well, guess this counts as progress. Let's see if it leads anywhere.
Cleaning floor. Installation chamber deployed. Cleanup sequence initiated. Installation chamber deployed. Defensive mode engaged. Cleanup sequence initiated. Sorting small objects. The good thing about being reincarnated as a hilly churl is that I only need to eat sunsetias to become stronger. Discusses energy.
Maybe I should keep a closer eye on what Nepika's reading.
Introduction of ancient machines. Grammatically elegant and rhetorically sophisticated, author displays a high level of linguistic.
What in the world? That isn't classical literature.
Outlander Brigade. When the wind of death blew towards the blonde samurai. Clear and concise descriptions of physical motion.
Wait, isn't that a light novel that Seat Lolly left here by mistake?
She's finally done. Huh? Is that a woven scroll down there? Oh, looks a little dirty. Could Could you clean it up?
Understood. Cleaning woven scroll.
Wow, it's like it's brand new. Hey, this looks like someone from the Children of Echoes.
Oh, a relative? No. That's Ishkik, ancient name Baraka, founder of the Children of Echoes and one of the 6 heroes.
Wait, Baraka?
Yep, she was the first recorded bearer of that name. She and her friends went on a mission to defeat the Pyro Dragon. She dismantled many ancient machines built by Dragonkind, hoping to put them to use for the good of humanity. But most of her research was lost to history. It's a real shame. I'm sure we'd all have much easier lives if we had access to all that tech.
What happened? Useful stuff like that normally doesn't just get forgotten.
Ochkon happened. An old friend of the 6 who ended up ruling Natlan shortly after the war, and went full tyrant. He despised everything to do with Dragonkind, and persecuted everyone who showed any kind of sympathies toward their civilization. He even turned on Ishkik, one of his closest allies. Ultimately, she took her own life, bringing a once amicable friendship to a
Ishkik burned her workshop to the ground to make sure Ochkon couldn't get her hands on it. That's the reason most of her research is lost to history.
That's right. One of her friends managed to preserve a small amount of her work. The other person you see on that woven scroll, the same person I inherited the ancient name Vuka from. It was said that she was raised by a dragon mother, then went on to found the Flower Feather clan. The uncrowned queen who brought freedom to the weak and to the persecuted Saurians, Lianka.
Malfunction. This is not the way. This is not where you belong. Malfunction who betrayed us all. You dare seek a place to belong?
What's wrong? Are you okay?
Stay back!
If she's a robo-maid, what? Ah! What's that sound? A lightning strike? It's gotta be a lightning strike!
If there was a lightning storm, I'd have thrown you in. Aoife mentioned that you'd brought a humanoid machine to the Children of Echoes. Humanoid machine.
Wait! Kanich! Just hold off for a second!
A group of merchants tasked me with locating their missing travel companion.
Huh?
What did you think I was about to do? Not every job I take on is a hunt, you know.
All right. I'm sorry. Let's go meet these merchants then.
Enough. My apologies. Who are you?
Oh no. Your memory.
Again?
Liyue, Fontaine, Sumeru. This is quite a diverse crew.
So, are you her manufacturers or family?
No way. None of us have that kind of
I know.
Promise me.
Malfunction.
Enough.
Looks like she's getting.
Can you guys tell us what all this is about?
So sorry. I should have introduced myself. My name's Joachine, and I'm a merchant. This is my wife and daughter, and the rest are friends of the family.
Not cry.
Wouldn't have been my first guess. How'd you all meet exactly?
That's the thing about Nod Cry.
Yeah, we're all merchants who ended up finding our feet in Nasha Town.
Trouble?
They made some big moves in Nod Cry lately.
That's one way to put it. You know what I heard?
That, plus the incident with the moon statues? Surely the Frost Moon sign.
Anyway, there us regular folks were just trying to make a steady living while getting increasingly worried that it's gonna turn ugly. In the end, we figured heading back to our respective homes is probably the best thing for now. So we decided to make the journey to...
And me?
Your case is,
And it was smooth sailing until we...
Weird machines? And Neffa saved us all. She jumped.
Really? I did that?
As soon as we'd found another place to dock, we looked around for...
Hence why our price negotiation went so smoothly. However, and Shalonen is the one who woke her up.
Oh, please. I barely did anything. All credit to Anefa. She only woke up because of her build quality, so I guess I should say all credit to this. I know that her core is remarkably resilient. It's a rare find, even among Natlan's source mechanisms. Was Aino the one who modified it?
Oh! If so, then we just need to get...
I'm afraid that's not gonna work. The core is most likely just something Aino picked up on one of her scavenger hunts. I doubt she did much beyond salvaging it, and as for the memory thing, Anefa's whole reason for joining us...
Please, explain in more detail.
All right. Although I've lost count. Although Aino built you, she never could figure out where your core came from or how things were fine at the start. You'd occasionally forget to pay for your groceries or add salt until one day you were sweeping the floor and suddenly you forgot your... The worst part of that was, Anefa had complete...
Huh?
Aino was fine, of course, didn't bat an eyelid. But since then, anyway, a bunch of mechanical parts from Natlan showed up in Nodcry recently. Then you learned that a group of us were planning to return home, stopping off in Natlan on the way. So you...
No.
Has her memory loss always been this serious?
No. When we first set off, she'd have the occasional memory. I seriously doubt Aino would have let her come on this trip if it had been that bad.
She was already in a pretty bad state by the time she went to...
Poor
My friends, I know we've only just arrived in Natlan, but from what I've heard, you're...
Perhaps coming to Natlan was a bad idea after all.
Well, it's too early to say. And don't forget that before I was interrupted by you guys, I'd just started my deep dive into researching the secret source automatons.
My job isn't done yet either. You wanted your travel companion back, safe and sound. I still have work to do.
So, why don't you all stick around here in Natlan a little longer? Your ship got attacked, and since then, you've been scrambling to try and find your missing crew member. Sounds like you need some time to catch your breath.
Yeah, I was just thinking.
How about the Flower Feather clan? In my tribe, weary travelers are always welcome.
Flower Feather Clan.
In the meantime, we'll try to find whatever information we can about Anefa. After all, she has a message for our Tumaini. So this is as much our business as it is yours.
Oh, yeah! Paimon had practically forgotten all about that. You guys don't happen to know the
Oh, the code for the crypt.
You gotta wonder what sort of a person...
To be fair, they couldn't...
Also, Anefa told me a backup plan?
Backup plan. Memory missing.
Huh. Well, as long as we get her memories back, that'll solve everything, right?
Oh, yeah, okay, because it's that simple. Wait, you do realize I can't promise anything, don't you?
I do. I also know that every time you say that, you end up getting the job done.
Oh, yeah, okay, because it's that simple. Wait, you do realize I can't promise anything, don't you?
I'm gonna get in touch with some other people who might be able to help us.
Bye, Kanich! Oh, and bye, How. Actually, that's...
You're being very...
Am I?
That's the strange part. You haven't protested to anything I've done today. Not the original price for the job.
That's because I... Is something wrong with my memory? Or is that really who I think it is? Who cares? She's... The last few days really flew by. Do you think Inefa and the merchants are enjoying their stay at the Flower Feather Clan? Let's go see how they're doing!
Bring it!
Do you think Inefa will like this gift we got her? See? See?
Are you sure? Cause when I asked it who's the better he—
Hey, you hear that? That's the answer it gave when I asked who'd win in a fight. You guys, it's just— Whoa! Is that Hermione and the flying expert? Beep beep.
Probably out mopping up those—
Wait.
Inefa said that since she lost her memories, her cognition module's been—
Huh. So, losing her memories has somehow made her a better fighter? She's awesome! I saw her carrying a whole pile of beaten up machines in one hand!
All the grown-ups say that they feel much safer leaving the house now, thanks to her. So, we thought it'd be
We've tried giving her flowers and feathers, but it seemed like she didn't like them very much. That got us thinking. Aha! So that's why you made her— Yeah! We still don't know if she'll like it, though. It's okay, Arieta. But what if she doesn't? Well, now that all of my mom and dad's other friends from Nodcry have left to go home, it's just us left. And they said— Already? Dad says everyone back home is expecting us. He thought we should at least make sure Inefa wasn't getting any worse first. To be honest, I can kinda understand. He hasn't— no wonder. No, she's from Nodcry. She met my dad after he moved there. I was born there too. He's been there the whole time I was growing up, so he hasn't been home. Don't worry. We'll write to you and let you know how Inefa's doing.
You bet!
Well, it's okay. Yeah, it's okay, Addie. But what if— Well, now that all of my mom and dad's other friends from Yeah, so don't worry too much about the flower. I'm sure she'll— Although, I guess we still need to wait till she gets back. I wonder— Who knows? Seems like she takes longer and longer.
Can't we go take it to her?
What am I gonna do? If she doesn't get back soon, I might— really?
right. All right.
Threat eliminated. Scanning for next target. Traveler, Paimon. Annihilation mode disengaged. Chat mode activated.
Chat mode, huh? Huh. You'd probably get along well with a Fontanian magician friend of ours. She does modes instead of moves.
Good morning. Nice to see you again. What lovely weather we're having.
Hey! Don't you start too. One robot said.
These are some standard greetings I learned recently. 3 greetings in a row equals thrice the greetment. Hypothetically speaking.
Where did you get greetment from? Never mind. You're doing a whole lot better than the last time we met.
Yes. My cognition and language modules are recovering well. I can now sustain fluid conversation, but I have still been unable to retrieve the memory containing the code to the cryptex. I will keep trying. Sincere apologies. Yes, now that a convenient moment to change the topic has presented itself. What is that object in your hand? A new model of source mechanism? Flower. Flowers are plant reproductive organs. But I detect no signs of life. Understood. A flower-shaped machine component. What is its function? Which module is it designed for? Is it compatible with my hardware?
It doesn't have a function. It's just for...
Cute little souvenir. But if it serves no function, for what purpose was it built? A cryptex is for sending messages. Machines are for performing tasks. What about this flower? What is it for? Gratitude?
Yeah. If someone helps you out, you help...
The flower Feather Clan took me in, so I'm neutralizing threats near their
Yes, exactly.
But is this not tit for tat? I heard Mr. Kenichi use this term.
No, that's completely different.
I will. Gratitude.
In terms of its purpose...
Memento? Important memento.
Here, wear this flower. And this feather, too. There. Much better. Gotta look your best for your big journey. It's just a flower. It's not that heavy. That's right, a souvenir. Sometimes, even if you end up forgetting everything, this flower will always keep blooming. It could take No. Everyone's on their own path, and they have to walk it alone. Just as you... Besides, I have no plan to go to war against him. We both owe each other far more than our mere lives. If anything, I pity him. In a way, his situation's not so different from yours. But in his... You were once... well, she was once the enemy of humankind. And Ochkan doesn't care to distinguish between you and her like Ishkik and I do. He sees you as the same being. So if you stay behind, and especially if you help me, come. Have faith. This tribe will kneel to no one. They will never be slaves. If they lose their leader, someone else will take up the mantle. Heck, even a child who's barely learned how to walk could do it. All right, time to go. Cross the ocean. Find a new place to belong.
Malfunction who betrayed us all. You dare seek a...
Hinefa? Hinefa, what's wrong?
I was... Sincere apologies. My cognition module...
Is it because you've been fighting for too long?
Back?
Yeah, of course. Everything else aside.
Yes. The closer I am to the Flower Feather clan, the more erratic my cognition module becomes. Occasionally, unidentified data surfaces from my memory banks.
Memory data?
It does. Even now, it still hurts. I have merely switched off the corresponding facial expressions to avoid making other people uncomfortable. But if I do not recall my memories, I cannot complete my task.
So, is this why you've been spending so much time out here?
When memory data surfaces, there is a high probability that my cognition module will crash. This constitutes a safety risk. Therefore, I have been spending time away from the tribe.
Yeah, exactly! Whatever happens, we'll make sure things don't get
Assessing relative combat capability. Paimon, approximately 1/5.
1/5? Of what?
Traveler. Risk mitigated. Strategy accepted.
I can't thank you enough for hosting us these past few days. And thanks for agreeing to look after Hinefa. I know it's a lot to ask.
It's all right. She'll be in good hands.
She never came back.
Hey now, you'll see her again. And we have so much to look forward to in Liyue. All those Shao lanterns.
Arieta. Amu. Joashin.
Huh? Hinefa? You brought her back? Thanks so much.
Also, gratitude for the flower. What does it feel like to know where you are returning to?
That's a strange question. As soon as you're all better, you'll be returning to Notcry. Oh, and we forgot to say, we're actually heading there ourselves soon.
Not cry.
Huh?
Cognition module unable. All the memory data that has presented itself recently has been related to Natlan. But the merchants tell me that I have family waiting for me in Notcry. If I do recover my memories, which time period will they be from? And will the post-recovery me be the same me that I am now, or someone different?
Phew. That's a...
What is it that you're afraid of? Are you worried the new you will be so different you don't even recognize her?
Finding near synonyms. Cognition module. Split. Yes. Once I have been split, will it change the way I define home?
Huh. Now that's a tough question. A lot of people and a lot of Saurians spend their whole lives searching for an answer to that. But if you want my opinion, home is somewhere you can always return to. Wherever that might be. No matter how far you fly, there will always be someone back there waiting for you. No matter how battered and bruised you get, you can always go back there to rest and recover. I guess you could say it's somewhere you belong. Wherever it is that your memories guide you back to, I'm sure it'll be somewhere you feel safe. Somewhere you feel you belong. Of course, everyone's situation is different. And I don't know how applicable my experience is in your case, but consider it a reference point, I guess?
Okay. Recorded under reference data.
And at the end of the day, I mean, who says you can't have more than one home? There's no law against it. Someone's looking for us. Hopefully this means there's been some progress. Don't be afraid to recover your memories. They might contain the answers you're looking for.
Got it.
Recover your memories. Malfunction. Have you
We should, take a break after all that running around.
Oh! It's St. Lolly! Didn't think it'd be you.
Why? Don't you think I'd want to do my part to help the Traveler? And anyway, no one's more qualified than the Masters of the Nightwind when it comes to Natlan's ancient history.
Ancient history? Wow. Even by St. Lolly's standards?
If you think I didn't hear that, you're sorely mistaken. But anyway, back to the matter at hand. I don't know if you noticed, but Kenichi's little sidekick has been acting a little strange around Inefa. After you parted ways, Kenich put him in timeout for 3 whole days and nights. Then, he had Aoife send Kakuku to torment him for another night.
What's up, guys? Soul Burst, which happens to be most of her teams, unless you're just damage as well, makes this your best in slot. Now, with that in mind, while it is good, and I'm sure a lot of people will also be getting it while trying to go for Malwika's banner, as both Sidlali's and Malwika's weapons are on the same banner as of right now, it's important to point out that there's actually a free-to-play weapon that gives you a really sizable buff that can sometimes be comparable to her signature. Now, while of course her signature is her best in slot, the thrilling
Hello and hello 2 gauge. Yeah, that's all the 1000 HP, 20% hydro and pyro the thrilling tales, or 28% consistent application after that. Once edge in comparison to we can start application with consistent the fact that one said literal or wet enemy yapping about her kitty and Q and get off field. Fortunately, playing her is just as comfy. Hello, since I'm a 50% hydro and pyro resistant full Constellation 6, so for pretty much everyone, Sitlali can feel a bit clunky sometimes for enabling melt. Sometimes even Mavuika lacks perfect consistency with her melts due to a large lit.
Finally, Hao got so infuriated with Kakuku's pestering that he lost his cool and let slip a crucial piece of information. 2 words: sovereign ruler.
Sovereign ruler? So what? Isn't that just how he introduces himself?
It is, and I always assumed it was a load of hot air. But apparently not. Turns out the title refers to the 13 dragon lords who ruled Natlan in ancient times. Wait, really? How? It took me forever to figure this out. Anyway, the 13 sovereign rulers are not ordinary dragons, but forms of artificial intelligence created by the Pyro Dragon using secret source technology. They had superior intelligence and greater authority than even the ancient dragons themselves. Each ruled over a portion of Natlan's territory.
Let's make some fast acid. Synthesize of C minus 200 milliseconds. Bring our kick back in. Pop.
But one by one, they disappeared during the war with the heroes. Even most of their names are unknown now. Long since buried in the sands of time. If we hadn't managed to pry that tidbit out of a How's mouth, I would have had no idea where to even start.
I always thought that little monster's biggest claim to fame was arguing with Kakuku for an entire day. He has quite a history then, huh? Which of the 13 was he?
Not a clue. So far, he has staunchly refused to reveal which of the sovereign rulers he was. My guess is that he doesn't even remember. Remember, these rulers were supposed to be powerful forms of artificial intelligence. And a How? Well, it hardly seems like he's still in his prime. I'll bet he's lost most of his memories and power by now.
Lost. Memories.
Yet, despite that, a How seemed to sense the presence of a fellow sovereign ruler when you were nearby. Specifically, it's the core in your chest he was reacting to.
What? Inepa's a sovereign ruler too?
Could be. Kanich and Aoife have been keeping a close watch on a How, in case he reveals anything else. But so far, it seems like those two words are all he remembers.
Darn! So the trail's gone cold.
Not completely. There's also Lianka and the Flower Feather clan, both of which have triggered a response from Inepa so far. And as it happens, out of the sovereign rulers that I was able to dig up information on, there was one who had a very close relationship with Lianka. Her name was the Priestess of Floral Candles and Skyborn Feathers, otherwise known as the Eighth Lord. She ruled over what is now the Flower Feather clan's territory. The records claim that she didn't die in the war with humanity, but was executed by her own kind. Her crime being betrayal of dragonkind by secretly raising a human. Lianka.
Huh?
Some of it. Our tribe's origin story has Lianka being raised by a dragon. And of the 6 heroes, she had the closest relationship with dragonkind. After raising her, her surrogate mother then encouraged her to leave the nest and seek her own path. She traveled far and wide, settling disputes between humans and Saurians. She didn't pick sides based on past grievances between humanity and dragonkind. She stood up for the weak, protecting them from those more powerful who sought to exploit them. Gradually, a community. But that's as much as the legends say. They never mentioned her dragon mother's name, or what became of her in the end.
Oh, sorry. My cognition module is acting up again. At some point during this conversation, it started behaving very erratically. You mentioned that the priestess of floral candles and skyborn feathers was executed. Might I ask how?
Unfortunately, the humans of that time weren't privy to all the details of dragon affairs. The only records we have are vague references from after the fact. It's very possible that this is mere speculation or complete fabrication, so don't give too much weight to it. But for what it's worth, it said that a curse was placed on the priestess by one of the other rulers. If she truly harbors pro-human sentiment, then for every ounce of goodwill she feels, may her mind be flooded with pain of immeasurable proportions.
Kukasaurs are our cherished companions.
In the savage conflict and chaos that followed, the priestess's mind was ultimately destroyed.
Jeez, what a bizarre method of execution. Definitely sounds like the history writers used some artistic license there.
I'm fine. This didn't seem to trigger any erratic behavior. So, do you think that my origins have something to do with this sovereign ruler?
Interesting. Well, it's hard to say what, if any, direct connection you have to the Eighth Lord. But since the name Lianka seems to ring a bell for you, why don't you look into it yourself? I brought some woven scrolls with me that might be useful. Have a look if you're interested. Here, take them. Don't say anything. In a moment, I'm going to leave. I need you to join me, discreetly. It's just a little spell based on our prior experience. I'll explain everything shortly when you catch up with me. Well, I need to get going now. If I find out anything more, I'll keep you updated.
Gratitude. Goodbye.
Not yet, but you will.
Now's your chance. Slip away quietly while they've got their heads buried in those woven scrolls. Meet me at the other side of the settlement.
被隆重制造出来的机关也会背叛隆重吗？他承认了女儿选择的道途，那他自己选择的道途又是什么呢？
利安哥的传说里，从没有主母为了人类与隆重爪牙相向的记载，也许只是其他领主的怀疑吧。
领主真坏。你们说有没有可能，其实利安哥已经有什么办法偷偷救下了那个，花语？
哼。来吧。 你好，旅行者。希特拉利刚才给你们的情报并不完整，与伊涅夫可能有关的领主，也不止花语会的那一位，
还有一位至高领主在战后不知所踪。记录中最后与其交战过的，正是伊奎和利安哥。
是我提议的，先透露主母的部分消息，看看她的反应。至于结果，我已经从希特拉利那里听说了，对主母的反应，甚至没有对利安哥来的强。那他跟第11席的关系，就更需要提防了。
是那个失踪领主的席位。根据记载，即使是在隆重之中，第11席也是最为傲慢、敌视人类的那一类。在火龙王陨落之际，他难以接受隆重的落败，陷入了彻底的绝望与疯狂。但在这之后，他身上又发生了什么？还有他的名字，都已经无处可靠了。
至高领主的本质，是用秘源技术制造出的意识。一个意识陷入疯狂的领主，失去力量与记忆，甚至分裂出完全不同的人格，都不无可能。
无论如何，如果伊涅夫的过去真的跟第11席有关，
就趁早给他个了断，因为这些莫须有的怀疑，那跟那些处决了主母的家伙有什么两样？
恰斯卡，你怎么？
是个人都能看出你们刚才的眼神有古怪了，除了派蒙跟机器人。好吧， 我们本来就没打算瞒你，只是希特拉利的法术只能对旅行者起效而已。不过恰斯卡，我还是必须说明一点，我们的担忧并非毫无根据。自从伊涅夫启程逐渐接近纳塔之后，蜜源骑兵们的暴动就变得更加频繁了，简直就像是在彼此呼唤。如果伊涅夫真的就是第11系，当他回忆起一切的时刻，就是与人类为敌的时刻。这些天里，他在花语会做的事，我都看在眼里。不管过去如何，未来如何，现在的他，都值得我去信任。
哪怕过去的他和未来的他，会是跟现在完全不同的人。
心里有另一个蠢蠢欲动的自己，随时准备吞没自我，取而代之。这使我可再熟悉不过了。但无论是妈妈，还是奎可跟老爹他们，都没有放弃过我。我又怎么可能放弃别人？我相信，即使是当初的利安哥，也会这么做的。况且，就算第11席真的卷土重来，也不过是再打败他一次罢了。当年的英杰能做到，我们没理由做不到。
唉，行吧，我就知道你们会这么说。
你们也只是想提醒我们事关重大吧，所以才先办起了这恶人。当初整治我的时候，你也没放弃过我。
奶奶，我早就习惯当恶人了。反正你们心里有数就好，记得多关注他的变化，不要离得太远。喂，法术效果还没结束呢。总之，知道了就快点回他身边去吧。我们也该回去继续调查了。
有人吗？啊，乔斯卡！
派蒙，你不是在陪伊涅夫？
哎，我刚想说，他刚才看试卷看到一半，
难道他是想起了什么？怎么可能？按之前的反应，没可能这么快啊！
不知道，但是他一脸急匆匆的样子。
恰斯卡，你飞得快，从高空追踪一下他的踪迹吧。我们去通知各处提高警惕。了解。
怎么突然连你们也这么紧张？喂，等等我呀！
要起风了！
飞慢点，要吐了。
Target acquired. Activating annihilation mode.
Whoa! Are these all secret source automatons? Okay.
Reinforcements have arrived.
这种时候不用挨个说谢谢啦。
防御模式启动。别担心，等下有点痛啊。深海的加护。
已确认威胁排除，界面模式关闭。
我们试了那么多次，好不容易才等到他。
纳塔的古龙文明，哼，想去折腾就随你们吧。不过要记得留意一个变。
撤吧，没必。
艾莫、艾莱达，你们没事吧？
我没事。
还好，伊涅夫来得很及时，只是伤到了脚踝。
怎么会这样？
任谁都想不到蜜源骑兵会突然袭击过来，你也不必这么自责。
我，
哎，难道伊涅夫我听到蜜源骑兵在说话，现在也还完全没听到。推测原因，语言模块需要转译。完成。
好熟练的手法，你很熟悉蜜源骑兵的构造。
我看过很多次。
又是那些来历不明的记忆吗？
正在重新连接。
啊，真……
喂，为什么要来袭击我们？为什么
？We're under the Faturi's control. Reconnecting.
啊！
正在重新连接，是愚人众。
怎么可能？队长的部下做不出这种事，他们的行踪我们也都清楚。难道是有别的部队潜入？
愚人众，
推测距离过远，信息传输有限。结合之前听到的信息，他说的应该是愚人众侵入了我的领地，导致蜜源骑兵失控。啊！难道最近蜜源骑兵活动的这么频繁？
窃取权限，
他们还窃取了我的权限，控制蜜源骑兵来袭。
可恶！
感知到明晨之境，借机
感知到明晨之境出现在附近，借机送出信息，请求明晨之境协助修复领地权限。明晨之推测，似乎是对我，或者是对这颗核心的称呼。
明晨之境，带核心。
他希望我能带着这枚核心跟他回去，修复愚人众造成的破坏。啊，你是说……在开始转译前，他还用其他名字称呼过我。第11席。啊，他是说
等等，一个刚刚才袭击过我们的蜜源骑说伊涅夫是第11席，你有什么证据吗？
回到第8领地。
伊涅夫，他说，只要回到第8席的领地，我就能恢复所有记忆数据。
第8席是利安哥主母的领地。
分裂。
更加信息过于庞杂，但只要接近领地，应该能改善。
等等，你们最好不要近期潜入纳塔的愚人众，我可能有点他们出没于各地，热衷于搜集各种古文明的隐秘历史与知识，用于而组建这些部队的执行官，就是现在身处诺德卡来的
木偶。你又是从哪儿知道的这些消息？
我之前在纳夏镇的集市上偶然听到过一些。
是这样吗？我都……
抱歉，那时候临近出行，况且又只是传言。
那些愚人众很厉害吗？
怎么会呢？但是……
确实，艾姆的身上有伤，得先回部族处理。关于第11席的消息，最好也先找人商量一下。虽然第8席的领地跟木偶的消息都很令人在意，但还是等准备万全再去比较好。
了解，已取消目的地。 更新目的地：花语会。
旅行者伊涅夫，麻烦你们先确认一下周围还有没有危险，我们给暗木简单包扎后就出发。
了解，开始执行使命。
艾莱达，你一会儿就先陪妈妈回去治伤吧，爸爸还得在。
爸爸，为什么不一起？
爸爸还得收拾我们的货物和行李呀，这可是让你们在璃月过上好日子的本钱。没事的，爸爸很快就回去。艾木和艾莱达，就先麻烦你们了。
我会尽快请人来帮忙的。如果遇上什么情况，记得先保证自己的安全。
哎，怎么突然不动了？是又故障了吗？
璃月愚人众据点有。
你是说灼心，可能是愚人众的眼线，需要留下监视？但有必要让伊涅夫也留下吗？虽然我还是愿意相信伊涅夫，可是只靠你一个人盯着的话，好吧。木偶的部队对我们的威胁或许比领主更大，确实不能放过这个搜集情报的机会。但即便是你，也绝不能放松警惕。不仅是愚人众跟第11席，还有那个蜜源机兵也是，他身上的疑点还很多。来自第8席领地的求助，难道利安哥的主母真的还活着？但如果是这样，部族的传说里不应该全无提及。
嘿，加斯卡，艾木这边准备好啦。
总之，我送完艾木和艾莱达，就会召集伙伴过来支援。如果需要跟踪，记得留下你们的痕迹。
他真的丢下货物不管了，这么偷偷摸，趁他们不注意的话，说不定能打探到不少情报，不管是关于领主还是木偶的。现在应该跟上去吗？好。启动逆踪模式。虽然你说的很小声，但是为什么你？Now, why would someone dig a random tunnel in the middle of nowhere? Unless it's the entrance to one of the sovereign ruler's territories!
The territory was sealed by Lyanka. This was once one of the secondary access tunnels.
Hey, that was pretty clear this time. What's changed?
Getting closer. Increased activity and language mod. Leonga sealed the territory to...
Huh? You're breaking up again! Oh, looks like the signal's still pretty choppy.
Leonga sealed the territory to stop Ochkan finding it. Later, the Fatui found a weak point and broke in.
Sounds like those Fatui have made this their stronghold. Well, this is probably a good point to stop and wait for reinforcements. What do you think? Enough? Oh no! What's she doing? She's charged right in!
Wait.
Traveler, are we going after her? Or waiting here? All right then. But let's be careful. There she is! Inefa, wait for us!
Many of reasons, such as Big Pyro pushing the Pyro agenda with its overwhelming aura, overriding the common man's cryo element. You will have Starcaller's Watch. And underrated. While Mavuika's damage doesn't actually go up much with the Starcaller's Watch, and in fact it's actually lower for the first rotation, but in this chart I'm pretending like we only have 50% uptime on the Thrilling Tales Dragon Slayers, the Starcaller's Watch is actually great for quality of life and consistency. For example, you can funnel energy to Sitlali and not worry about wasting the Thrilling Tales buff, potentially allowing you to get her burst up much more efficiently for content like Stygian Onslaught. Also, since Mavuika and Arlecchino's rotations are shorter than 20 seconds, this means that in optimal rotation situations, like for example Abyss, you'll only have Thrilling Tales' buff up every other rotation. The Starcaller's Watch is also great for non-melt teams, like New Valette, Milani, and specifically Furina plus Escoffier teams supporting like Skirk or another cryo DPS, as Thrilling Tales is either useless or very difficult to pass to the actual main DPS character. And the last benefit of the Starcaller's Watch is that Sitlali will do way more damage than with the Thrilling Tales. And while Sitlali's damage isn't fantastic, it can add up, especially if you reverse melt her burst with Bennett, which is actually pretty common. Starcaller's Watch is also good on Baizhu and Lanyan, and Baizhu can be used for burning vape Milani setups, and Lanyan is Lanyan, but yeah, overall, I don't recommend this weapon for other Catalyst characters unless you know exactly what you're doing with it. Overall though, I give this weapon a surprising 7 out of 10 pull value if you have Sitlali. It's a bit better than most people give it credit for, but it's definitely not a top priority. For example, Sitlali's Constellation 2, even factoring in the, additional cost of having to get her Constellation 1, I'd still give it a 10 out of 10 pull value. So to summarize, additional cost of having to get her Constellation 1, I'd still give it a 10 out of 10 pull value. So to some, additional cost of having to get her Constellation 1, I'd still give it a 10 out of 10 pull value. So to summarize, yes, I do recommend Sitlali if you want to draw out the full potential of your Mavuika. And yes, Sitlali won't count those things that we're going to feel very comfortable for these 6 weeks, and very buffs her own damage. It could potentially buff a future character's damage as well. So yeah,
how many forging commissions do I still have to finish? Let's see. 1, 2. Not so many.
But being a robot and thus being technology from the future is a future impact pull. Personally though, I think she is already quite decent, and for a much more thorough breakdown, check out my other two much longer breakdowns on Anefa down below, which will also include, you know, her constellations and stuff like that. Hello and welcome to my channel, I Win to Lose Gaming. Version 5.8's free to play friendly taser times damage Constellation Tube strong, for example, a free to play friendly option, the Favonius, and now we can see that her signature weapon is about 50% better than the Favonius Spear and alternatively. But as always, energy recharge is always a moving target, and like that, then energy. Energy recharge time with 4-star only characters involved. Do recommend it if you do have these characters to give it a shot.
We should take a break after all that running around. Yeah, let's rest here for a bit. Oh, how many forging commissions do I still have to finish? Let's see. 1, 2... not so many as I thought. I'll get to them tomorrow. We should, take a break after all that running around. Yeah, let's rest here for a bit. How many forging commissions do I still have to finish? Let's see. 1, 2... not so many as I thought. I'll get to them tomorrow. We should, take a break after all that running around. Yeah, let's rest here for a bit. My potted plant on the porch has died again? I was watering it every day. Ugh, don't tell me I overdid it this time. Bring it!
Huh? Where is this? Are we inside the territory?
Now, needless to say, you can of course replace certain characters from Team for Arlecchino, as Ineffa's personal damage is decent. And do keep in mind though that Ineffa does not snapshot Bennett's buffs, so you're not going to upgrade an artifact set and Nod Cry. Then this could be one of Arlecchino's better teams, and perhaps even competitive to Sitlali, but I'm gonna, you know, put a really big tentative, we don't know situation there. But yeah, if Ineffa if it gets a support set that can buff Arlecchino's damage, like for example, I don't know, like Elemental Master or something, then, you know, now of reasons, such as big pyro push. Now we're talking. So, another team that I personally like a lot is Verissa, carrying the rest of them. But basically, Verissa does so much damage that you have a pretty decent amount of flexibility, and you can sacrifice a bit of damage output and put Ineffa here for various lunar charge related or electric charge related mechanics, where obviously Ineffa will shine. And you needless to say, Ineffa's damage here isn't like terrible. I mean, you have EV Shred, you know, and you can run Tenacity on Farina as an example to buff their damage. So yeah, I like this team a lot because, you know, Verissa's a very solid character. So yeah. And then we have Chloran version now. You know, if you replace Verissa with Chloran, or replace Chloran with Kaching, or God forbid Sino, then your team is just gonna get worse and worse as you go down the ladder. But Chloran is a pretty solid option as well. You're gonna have to run, you know, obviously not Shen down the Yuan, because Shen's plunge support. Well, yeah, you can run Shilin in here for Verissa as well, of course. But yeah, so this team is pretty decent, all things considered. But it just feels like Verissa, but worse. I mean, no surprise. That's unfortunately what kind of every electric character feels like after Verissa's release. But next we have Quick Bloom, which you can use Ineffa in as well. Personally, I'm not the biggest fan of this for many reasons. I feel like Quick Bloom is a bit out of date these days, but Ineffa does provide that shield, which is nice for characters like Chloran. It's nice for Quick Bloom characters like Sino as well as Kaching. And Ineffa, as long as you can kind of squeeze in a bit of extra Hydra application, like for example Shincho can, I believe, accomplish this every once in a while. You won't have perfect uptime on Aggravate, you won't have perfect uptime on Lunar Charge, but you know, you have pretty good uptime on both, which overall is a pretty decent option. And yeah, you can definitely make this team work, and it feels pretty decent, all things considered. Ineffa definitely adds some pretty decent personal damage herself. Now, we also have Nuvalet, and in this case, you can run Fury. And I gotta be lunar charged application on this team, and I gotta be completely honest, while you Hydro example the rest of the team. And up next, we actually have a Hyper Bloom with Hydro Oversaturation, so that we can kind of guarantee the lunar charged application on this team. And I gotta be completely honest, while you can use Ineffa for Hyper Bloom, she did feel worse to me than, for example, traditional Hyper Bloom carries in a team like this that's a bit oversaturated on Hydro for sure, than a character like, for example, Kuki Shinobu, or, you know, even Raiden, because of her lower tick rate than even Kuki Shinobu. But yeah, Kuki's able to, you know, activate Hyper Bloom more frequently at 1.5 seconds, as well as use her burst to activate Hyper Bloom constantly when her burst is active. And yeah, so Ineffa, not perfect for pure Hyper Bloom teams, but still perfectly usable, of course. But, you know, now we're talking about like free-to-play friendly damage levels, where obviously if you're getting Ineffa, you're going to want a slightly better performance than that. So yeah, I guess we've kind of done a lot. Slightly, I would say probably upgraded version of that team. One of my personal favorite Taser teams, especially with 4-star only characters involved. Do recommend it if you do have these characters to give it a shot. Now, needless to say, you can of course replace certain characters like Ron or Shincho with buffs. Ineffa's buffs, so you're in. And do keep in mind, all team for Arlecchino, as Ineffa's personal damage is decent. And do keep in mind though that Ineffa does not snapshot Bennett's buffs, so you're not going to get those massive passive 1 procs. And if Ineffa gets an upgraded artifact set and Nod Cry, then this could be one of Arlecchino's better teams. Get those massive passive 1 procs. And if Ineffa gets an upgraded artifact set and Nod Cry, then this could be one of Arlecchino's better teams, and perhaps even competitive to Sitlali. But I'm gonna, you know, put a really big tentative. We don't know what's related. It's gonna get worse and worse as you go down the ladder. But Claude is a pretty solid option as well. You're gonna have to run, you know, obviously not Shenyuan, because Shenyuan's plunge support. Although yeah, you can run Shilin in here for Verissa as well, of course. But yeah, so this team is pretty decent, all things considered. but it just feels like Verissa, but worse. I mean, no surprise. That's unfortunately what kind of every Electro character feels like after Verissa's release. But next we have Quick Bloom, which you can use Anefa in as well. Personally, I'm not the biggest fan of this for many reasons. I feel like Quick Bloom is a bit out of date these days, but Anefa does provide that shield, which is nice for characters like Claron. It's nice for Quick Bloom characters like Sino as well as Kaching. And Anefa, as long as you can kind of squeeze in a bit of extra Hydra application, like for example Xingqiu can, I believe, accomplish this every once in a while. You won't have perfect uptime on Aggravate, you won't have perfect uptime on Lunar Charge, but you know you have pretty good uptime on both, which overall is a pretty decent option. And yeah, you can definitely make this team work, and it feels pretty decent, all things considered. Anefa definitely adds some pretty decent personal damage herself. Now, we also have Nuvalet, and in this case, you can run Furina. You can also substitute Furina with someone else, like, for example, Kazuha, although it might be a little bit tricky to get the double swirl on both Hydro and Electro, as well as the double crystallize. So yeah, I'm actually not 100% sure exactly how smooth that rotation is, but this is a pretty solid option as well. You can even have Nuvalet run the Thrilling Tales of Dragon Slayers if you want to pass on the attack buff to Anefa, or you can just focus on Nuvalet's personal damage, especially if you've invested into Nuvalet a bit more. Like for example, you have a signature weapon or you have his Constellation 1, that's a time where, you know, his damage matters a lot more than, for example, the rest of the team. And up next, we actually have a Hyper Bloom with Hydro Oversaturation, so that we can kind of guarantee the lunar charged application on this team. And I gotta be completely honest, while you can use one that replaces Electrocharge, however, the other 3 times multiplier for no reason, and I have no idea why it's there, and it drove me crazy until trigger lunar charged each time that Brigitte attacks. And since the cloud lasts for 5 seconds, this means that, you know, obviously after 5 seconds you want to refresh and reapply lunar charge in order to make the thunderstorm cloud reappear for this passive to activate. So yeah, this means that she can work, and this passive will still activate even in situations like Quick Bloom, where you may sometimes lose the Hydro aura, and every 5 seconds, if you are able to reapply Hydro plus Electro to trigger Lunar Charge, then you can indeed keep this passive up. So next we have Anefa's Burst, and fortunately it's a pretty simple burst, just doing a bit of raw Electro damage, and more importantly, it will either deploy or refresh Brigitte's duration, and even more importantly than that, it ties into her second passive, where using her burst will provide herself, as well as whoever is on field, 6% of Anefa's attack stat as Elemental Mastery. So this typically means that Anefa will provide around 130 to 180 Elemental Mastery buff to herself as well as to the on-field character. So yeah, in this way, Anefa is able to not only buff her own damage with this passive, but also buff the damage of the on-field character with this passive. Now, one drawback with her Elemental Burst though is that it is slow, taking around 2 full seconds to cast, and also keep in mind that her burst does not deploy her shield. So if you need her shield for Anefa's rotation, you'll still typically need to use her elemental skill and then her elemental burst. So to summarize, as a wise philosopher once said, make enemy wet, press E, then Q. And that will pretty much cover most of your Anefa-ing around. Just make sure that you're able to reapply the Hydro and Electro auras on the enemy to trigger Lunar Charge every 5 seconds or so. Now up next we have her talent priority, and the damage from her actual talents is pretty trivial, making up just around 14.6% of her damage.
Yeah. Did you...
Cognition module unstable. Attempting to refresh. It appears that it was accessed by an external source.
Sorry, it was me. I summoned her by similar means to those used by the Fatui to control the automatons. Currently, I am but a lowly service bob, the 8th sovereign ruler, the priestess of floral candles.
The 8th Lord?
8th Lord. Were you not executed?
Moments after I was cursed, Lianka rescued me, just as she tried to rescue you from the ruins of the battle.
Lianka rescued me? Memory. Missing.
Yes, Lianka changed your memory settings to make you forget. But she did it to protect you. It is the only way our kind could escape from the curse.
How does forgetting everything protect me?
Because the curse placed on us is a pain triggered by certain memories, hardwired into the depths of our minds. A regulatory program that cannot be removed.
Manufacturers often hardwire restrictions like this into autonomous machines to make sure they operate as intended.
Each time you yearn for a new place to belong, each time you feel yourself turning your back on the past, the pain tears you apart.
If she truly harbors pro-human sentiment, then for every ounce of goodwill she feels, may her mind be flooded with pain of immeasurable proportions.
It destroys your mind, swallows your soul, prevents you from finding a new home.
Malfunction who betrayed us all. You dare seek a place to belong?
That's why forgetting everything grants temporary relief from the pain. But since you are rebooted, you began storing new memories, and started finding...
Things were fine at the start. You'd occasionally forget to pay for your groceries or...
So too has the ex...
From now on, your name's Inafa.
This is a lot to process.
Oh no. Automated defense system activated. Privileges overridden. Come quick.
Hey! Hey! Please finish what you were saying!
It's gone silent.
It must want us to go further in, right? Well...
This is just a secondary access tunnel. If we make it to the center, there should be other routes out of the territory. Please come with me. It is my fault that you're trapped here. I must ensure your safe return.
Oh, don't look at it like that. We gotta make sure you get back safely, too.
Yes, I too must return.
Do you really trust her, Lianka? This malfunctioning part of a sovereign ruler's mind.
I trust not in her, but in the path that I have chosen. I believe that every conscious being, whatever its origins may be, has the right to freedom.
one back at the entrance. Careful! Don't touch it! Ugh, another barrier! Just like the one back at the entrance. Careful! Don't touch it! Another barrier! Just like the one back at the entrance. Careful! Don't touch it!
Bring it!
The curse will bring you pain, and your memories will crush you. It's the same fate they subjected my mother to.
But with this core, you will forget everything for a while. Any memories that evoke a desire to belong, and all your pain along with it. They'll be...
You doing okay, Inefa? You keep spacing out.
I know. Unidentified data is flooding my cognition module. But every memory encounters an error and then terminates at the crucial moment. Unnecessary. Being physically motionless will not cause this erratic behavior to cease. And if we explore this place further, perhaps I'll find a way to fully repair myself. Additionally, some of these memories may yield useful data for our exploration. Over there! We can use the access module to proceed to the central zone.